He never truly matured, not in the crucial ways, not where it mattered most, within his very essence. You spot him in cafes, doodling ambitious plans in a ledger that will never transcend the paper. You observe him in love affairs, intense, intoxicating, all-consuming, until actuality calls and he's vanished. He pursues significance, but retreats from duty. He envisions greatness, yet shuns the fundamental initial stride. He's neither indolent nor unintelligent. He is immobile, trapped in a narrative he doesn't even realize he's enacting. Carl Jung termed him the Puer Aeternus, the eternal boy. This is an archetype embedded deep in the male consciousness, a child confined in a man's physique, a spirit averse to constraint, dedicated to possibility, yet utterly frightened of becoming concrete. The Puer is not merely a man who declines to advance. He is a man who dreads mortality in every guise, the demise of liberty, the loss of potential, the vanishing of being distinct. Consequently, he drifts. He maintains his life in a perpetual draft mode, never fully committing to an endeavor, never anchoring his vitality in the physical world. For to commit is to select, and to select necessitates sacrificing all other fantasies. And that, for the Puer, is intolerable. He exists in the sphere of what might be, and the moment he brushes against what is, he withdraws. But what shapes a person this way? We must return to formative years. The man-child typically originates as a boy who was either excessively sheltered or emotionally disregarded, and occasionally both. In cases of overprotection, he is enveloped in affection but denied independence. He is lauded but never tested. His missteps are cushioned, his discomforts eliminated. He never acquires the capacity to withstand opposition because someone invariably intervenes. Thus, the world becomes alarming, not due to its inherent harshness, but because of its unfamiliarity. Then there is the alternative, the boy who is emotionally neglected. He is not told he is unique, he is informed of nothing. Perhaps his guardians are emotionally unavailable. Perhaps there is profound trauma. Perhaps he is left to rear himself. So he recedes inward. He constructs imaginary rounds. He evolves into a visionary, and those visions become his sanctuary, the solitary place where no one can inflict pain. In both scenarios, the boy never completes the rite of passage into mature manhood. He never learns to settle his spirit within a framework. He fears adulthood, not from inherent feebleness, but because adulthood signifies desertion, failure, betrayal, or the extinction of the soul. So, what is his recourse? He remains in perpetual motion. He pursues thrill. He thrives in spontaneity. He shuns stability not out of defiance, but for self-preservation. And here lies the contradiction. The Puer Aeternus frequently appears enchanting, magnetic, inspiring. He is fervent, sentimental, emotionally expressive. He seems fully alive in a way that other men are not, and that is precisely why people are captivated by him. Yet, the closer one approaches, the more perplexing it becomes. One day he is consumed by you, the next he is detached. One week he yearns to launch a business, the next he is lost in digital games. You might even reason he's simply apprehensive. I can remedy this, he merely requires time. But time does not foster his growth, because the affliction is not temporal, it resides in his soul. Jung wrote, "The Puer Aeternus is the boy who cannot age, not because he is youthful, but because he cannot confront the obligations of existence." The misfortune is that he is not malicious. He does not intend to wound you. He has simply not yet encountered his true self. His entire life is structured around safeguarding the inner child, the sensitive, delicate, brilliant core of him that was never adequately nurtured. Consequently, he erects a citadel of illusions around that child. He defends it with his ego. He seeks escape through companionship with women, artistic expression, substances, philosophical concepts, digital distraction,
anything but calmness. Because if he ceases his flight, he may be forced to hear the lament he has eluded his whole existence. That whale asks, "Where were they when I needed aid? Why did no one prepare me? Why does duty feel like ruin?" And so, like the mythical figure, he seeks sanctuary in a neverland, a domain where he is never the source of the trouble, where life is an idea, not a discipline, where affection is romantic, not relational, where passion ignites but never sustains. Now, for the crucial reversal. The Puer Aeternus is not intrinsically evil, he is simply incomplete. There is genius within the Puer. He is a visionary, he is perceptive, he has access to a realm of archetypal imagination that most individuals abandoned long ago. But that brilliance without anchorage devolves into disorder. It self-destructs, and that is the shadow. The man who never completes his undertakings, the partner who never genuinely appears, the father who amuses but cannot shield, the artist who dreams but never manifests. Carl Jung recognized this inner conflict acutely. He believed that every man must grapple with this archetype. The objective is not to extinguish the boy, but to integrate him, to infuse the imagination of the child into the accountability of the adult, to achieve wholeness, not flawlessness. This is where shadow work is initiated, not as a simple method, but as a confrontation. Because to abandon Neverland, you do not just mature, you must grieve. You mourn the innocence that was stolen from you. You mourn the aspirations that withered in your avoidance. You mourn the connections that your fear undermined. You begin to acknowledge the aspects of yourself you have banished, the part that yearns to be seen, the part that is petrified of failure, the part that does not believe he can manage genuine existence, the part that simply desires to be comforted and told he is adequate. Carl Jung posited that integration, not perfection, is the objective of healing. He observed, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will steer your life, and you will deem it destiny. For the Puer Aeternus, the unconscious is a minefield of unfulfilled needs and unmourned losses, and until he returns to reclaim them, he will involuntarily continue to generate disorder, disappointment, and fantasy-driven evasion. The essential step is symbolic death. He must permit the inner boy to perish, not in essence, but in its dominance. He must choose stability over spectacle, procedure over flawlessness, dedication over escape. That is the fundamental alteration. The visionary becomes the constructor, the ardent lover becomes the guardian. The boy evolves into a man, not by dismissing his visions, but by daring to ground them in actuality. However, this passage is not uncomplicated. It is disorderly, it is dim, and it is terrifying, because there is a motive the boy declined to grow. For him, growth was never secure. Responsibility felt like a snare. Commitment felt like obliteration. Thus, healing transcends mere conduct. It involves regulation of the nervous system. It involves recovery from trauma. It involves mending the facets of oneself that were never instructed how to tolerate discomfort. This is why practices such as Jungian shadow work, inner child work, and parts work are indispensable. They aid the man-child in gradually establishing an internal father, a part of himself that can provide structure, defense, and containment for his untamed inner boy. And when this shift occurs, the transformation is profound. He does not forfeit his wonder, he channels it. He does not stop envisioning, he learns to construct from the vision. He does not cease to be passionate, he learns to persist, even when it is arduous. And perhaps most powerfully, he learns how to love, not as a child clutching a parental figure, but as a man holding space for another individual's essence. This is the genuine meaning of maturity, not bland, not uninspired, but robust, grounded, deep. It is the fertile ground in which purpose can finally flourish. Therefore, to those who perceive the Puer Aeternus within themselves, this is your invitation. You do not need to abandon your hopes. You do not need to transform into someone else. You only need to stop escaping from who you truly are. Yes, the world is challenging. Yes, adulthood is demanding. But avoidance is more difficult because it progressively deprives you of your essence. It is not yet too late. You can still become the person you are destined to be, not despite your anguish, but because of it. And to those who love a man-child, comprehend this: he is not attempting to injure you. He is striving to survive something for which he has no vocabulary. You cannot save him. You cannot cultivate his growth, but you can prioritize yourself. And occasionally, the most compassionate action is to withdraw and permit him to confront his reflection in solitude. Carl Jung believed every archetype must be confronted, integrated, and surpassed. The Puer Aeternus is not an exception. The boy within you does not require annihilation. He needs to be nurtured by a father figure. And once that occurs, he does not vanish. He evolves into a wellspring of creative dynamism, love, liberation, and soul, not as a fleeting fantasy, but as a tangible reality anchored in honesty. This is the genuine meaning of maturity, not bland, not uninspired, but robust, grounded, deep. It is the fertile ground in which purpose can finally flourish.